Now, ever since I became an upstanding citizen of society, earning dollars, paying my own bills, I've come to realize that my thoughts on money might have been incorrect. Now, ever since I became a doctor, I was of the belief that money was the answer to all my problems. And based upon the season I've been in, I've had to probably just stop, because medical school taught me how to earn a living, a wage, a salary. However, it didn't teach me how to build a life. And so, because of the events and the season I'm in, I had to recalibrate. And as I reflected more, the more I realized money isn't what I thought it was. And so I had to establish or find out, where did these thoughts come from. And I realized I thought money solved the problems, and money doesn't solve all problems. And when I became a doctor, I realized that it's the ugly truth, because I met physicians who earned incredible incomes but had broken marriages. I met professionals who earned high wages and were very successful in what they did, but they couldn't spend time with their children. And so I had to examine, is this really what I want for my life? And is this a great definition of money? Because now I am meeting people who have money but have no peace. And so I had to stop and reflect and ask myself a different question. What exactly is money? How do I define it? And how is that definition going to define my path? Because if I don't define it correctly, am I going to spend my entire life chasing the wrong thing? And so that's when it hit me. And now today, I really want to share with you a reflection of what I've been through and how my thoughts and ideology of money has changed. Because guess what? This is something that is going to import, and how you define anything will help you how to define your path in life. So, lesson 1. I thought money was the goal. Now I realize money is a tool. And so for a long time, success looked like a number. We all go through this phase where we're trying to define a salary, and the salary is the goal. And the bigger the paycheck, the bigger success is, and a larger bank account, it makes a pretty happy life. That's what I believed, and I've come to realize that's completely faulty. And I thought if I could just earn enough, then everything would just fall into place later on. But money isn't the destination, especially when it comes down to relationships and defining who you are. Money is simply the tool. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's really just an instrument. For example, take a stethoscope, something that you see a lot of physicians with. It isn't the treatment, but it helps you to arrive at the right diagnosis. You understand what I say? So it's simply just the tool. Money works in the same way in which it doesn't define the problem or the answer to the problem. It helps you to get there. And that's actually what matters. Because without purpose, more money simply gives you more options. And you might make the wrong options. So I meant to say it the right way. Money really just amplifies who you truly are, what you have on the inside. It doesn't define you. So again, money is an excellent tool, but it's a terrible purpose. The second thing I learned was freedom is built through systems, not by money. I thought money created freedom. Boy, was I wrong. Now I know the systems are what creates freedom. So one of the biggest mistakes I've made with money, and one of the biggest mindset shifts, is that I used to believe that earning more money automatically meant more freedom. As a physician, that is not true, because I've been earning more, I would be working these long shifts, and yes, I would get more money from it, but I had no rest, I had no peace. So I eventually realized that more money doesn't automatically means more peace of mind. It doesn't mean more time. And so you can earn a high income and still have very little time. Whew, which I realized. And so because of that now, income and freedom are not the same thing. They're not proportional. And so you have to start now using your income to build systems, which then will lead you to freedom. And you'd say, okay, Shaq, what is a system? So a system is simply something that keeps producing results even when you are not working in the system, or when you're not actively working. So a business can become a system, a routine or family structure can become a system, an investment portfolio can become a system, rental properties become systems. What else now? I think you get the gist. So these are things that work without you having to be there, are offer leverage, and they help to support the life that you're trying to build. So that's when money starts creating freedom, when it's poured into assets, things that generate money, other monies, and help you to get more time back. So income pays the bills, but system builds tomorrow's freedom. The third thing I've learned is that stewardship is greater than security. I thought money was all about security. No, I believe it's about stewardship, especially after delving into my Bible. I used to think that money was the goal, just to save enough money to get by, to help my family, to whatever, However, even though saving matters, in terms of, for example, emergency funds, they matter, it's important. Insurance, that matters. Your income, making sure that you're comfortable, that matters. But eventually I realized that there is more to it than that, and money isn't something to hide per se. It's something to manage wisely. It's something that needs to be stewarded and nurtured, because stewardship simply means taking good care of something, of whatever has been entrusted to you. So if I give you something and you steward it well, then I would want to let you maintain doing so, or even give you more. And so whether it's $1 or $1 million, because eventually money should begin serving people, and you shouldn't be a slave to it. You know what I'm saying? And definitely when I reflect, I was not a slave to that. Not sitting still, just chasing. And so one of the takeaways is that money grows best when it's managed with purpose. Not when it becomes the purpose, but rather when it's managed based upon your purpose. The fourth thing I learned is that, hey, money is personal. And I know them say, yo, don't take business personal. However, it's very relational. And so when I was young, I thought money was all about business, paying the bills, taking care of the people, pouring into my goals and my future. And yeah, it is, but there's another side to the coin, and I see it very differently. No, Because while all of that is still important, one day I'll have to take care of my parents. One day I will have to take care of my children, my own family. One day I might have to lead a community or employ people because I'm trying to build business. And so money is not just for the now and the instant payment of things that are in the now, but it's stored in other things because it affects relationships, it affects marriages, it affects families, it affects businesses, it affects more than just the now, more than just me. So it's not just about me personally, it's also about other people having the responsibility to store that. Money becomes more than just me. And so it's not just about what you can buy in the now, but also what you're investing in the future. It's about who you are now able to serve. And so now that when I think about money, I don't just think about bills and paying for now. It's more than me. It's for the systems I'm building to take care of future generations. The second thing is that I believe that money was scarce, and now I have more of an abundance mindset, because it's kind of like a slice of a pie. And you think, oh, it's limited, but I'm realizing that money is just more than the paper that we keep in our wallets. It's about value, it's about opportunities, and there is opportunity for more than one person. Business taught me that money follows value. So it's not just about the dollar sign, but how much persons I'm serving and I'm offering a valuable service to. And you might say, okay, Shaq, what is value? So value is making somebody else's life better. And the more persons you are able to impact, the more problems that you solve, the more time that you save for other people to get to where they want to get to, and the more opportunities you create, is the more value you are creating in the marketplace. So essentially just making people succeed. And so, as I said, money is, yes, it's personal, but it's more relational. It's more than just me. And so the more people you naturally help and impact and influence, is the more you will attract money. So how can I make more money? That's what I've been asking myself, and I guess all of us want to know that. How can I become useful is really the question you should be asking, because the more valuable you become is the more money you will attract, because usefulness is directly proportional to the opportunities that you will be introduced to, the relationships that you'll be introduced to, and the impact that you'll create. So don't chase money, chase value. Become more valuable. And so now, in looking back, I can truly say I don't think I needed a higher salary. I needed a healthier relationship with money. Yeah. Because once I realized that my definition was off and I started to correct it, then my decisions changed too. When I started going from just a selfish definition to more expansive and a relational definition, it changed my view of how I see money, and it's less of a goal but now as a servant. How is it helping me to be how am I being a better master to money, to help build the systems and the life I want to build to impact other people? So the takeaway is that money isn't purpose, money isn't identity, money isn't success. Money is simply the instrument, the resource, and the help that you need to get to the other side of your purpose. And it reveals the heart of the person who wields the instrument. And so one of the perspectives that I come to appreciate as well with scripture is that God rarely asks, how much do you have? Or he doesn't ask, how much did you have? Instead, he asks, what did you do with what I entrusted to you? So that was a total mindset shift for me. And I realized that with money, God is really teaching us how to be great stewards. Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's relationships, God really wants us to store the resources that He's entrusted us with well. And the goal isn't simply now to increase, the goal is to be faithful with what you have, and then He will be able to trust you as a partner to give you more, because faithful stewardship always creates lasting impact. And so as we reflect this week on our ideology or the thought of money, I want you to think about how you are defining money in this season. Money is dash. What is money to you? And so think about that definition without putting a number in that place. Is it that I am using money to define myself and my goals, or is it being used as an instrument to help me to reach my true potential, my true purpose? Think about it. Blessings. That's it.